Oh, excuse me. Are you cheating again? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Expect me to believe you. I'm cheating at enjoying this food I just ate. I got a hard on for a double quarter pounder with cheese. It was gooey, yummy, delicious. It was absolutely fucking delish. And then that caramel with that hot fudge. There was hardly any ice cream in the cup. It was mostly hot fudge and caramel. Oh, it just made me so happy. I'm so happy. Jesus, we're going down in numbers, not up. Wonder if it was my moaning and groaning over an ice cream. Ugh. Oh. Ah. What's a zany ball? So the last couple of nights, Picard's been sending me messages. Stream more. Stream more. And now I'm not streaming. Or now I'm streaming, and he's not looking. He's probably didn't know I'm streaming. My name is Herbie. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. I got a belch, and it's about to knock everybody's bobby socks off. Oh god, that was wimpy. That wasn't even registered on the Richter scale because I guess I let the air out before I got around to burping. I must fart. A fact's a fact. My belly's all full. My gas track's all full. Andy, where, where's my game? 6 to 8, Andy. I don't know, but I want it. I want it. I want my game. Oh, fuck that. We're going to play Faction. We're going to play Faction. I don't know whenever we get some more motherfuckers in here. My bed is burning. So, oi. If you go on my YouTube, can you find a bunch of videos? Bunch of videos? What's VOD? Well, then why didn't you just save the videos on YouTube? Yes, you can see more videos. Duh. Duh! I can do a bunch of videos? Well, my dasher. I want my new mech. Where am I going to get our new mechs? I'm getting a whole bunch of new mechs. The new mech. The Fireboss, also known as a dasher. It's going to die really easy, but it's going to be so fun. I'm not. I think it's going to be a sexy little bitch. You don't think we'll ever get it? All right, I just need $10. Somebody want to send me $10? I need $10. No, I just spent $10. I need 10 more. So I can order the other one. The other dasher. The special one. Huh? You must. I'll just pick it up tomorrow when I get paid. Ah. It's gonna have no fucking armor. That's why it's so good. It's because it has no armor. It just has speed. Doesn't need armor as long as you're moving. Torsos is where the bomb's gonna be because it's got big torsos. Little itty bitty arms. I can't wait to get my moth. Can I get my moth now? Ships on February 18th. 18th. Today is to what? So I gotta wait. I can't wait that long. I must have it now. Now I say I must have it tonight. What I gotta do to cheat and get it tonight? How can I hack it? He said hi to me the other day now that I'm not GNX. Yeah. They do. Everybody has a bias against GNX. GNX ain't nothing what it used to be. That's because he yelled at you. It's Frankenstein's, yeah, Frank's lab right now. Already did. I just need $10. I just need $10 for the specialty one. Give Bandit $10. Send me, send me $10. Oi oi. You must give to me. I could take $10 from Saba and just put it back tomorrow. I'm gonna do that. Saba's got $10. From savings. Nope. From savings to checking out $10. Done. Do it now. Complete transfer to my accounts. Oh, right back up to $14 and some. Hi there. It's Shepard. Shepard, I'm streaming and you're not watching. There you are. Yeah, I see. I missed all the chat because I'm watching Herbie the Love Bug. 1997. The Love Bug, 1997. Oh, Herbie just died. Oh, poor Herbie. I don't know. It depends. GNX is the one that's so hated. I know. Tios actually said hi to me the other night. Did you hear that? Right. People are assholes. That's why. Oh, Herbie's about to be buried. Herbie. Poor little Herbie. What, Capital left too? He just wants to play. No, Capital's individual. Is he? Herbie. Everybody, because he had GNX tag. Oh, there was a real big fucking few, but Tios came in as Frost, I think it was. And he, Frostbite, yeah, he tore GNX's comp team apart. That was his whole set goal. That's when all the upper leadership left. Yeah, he just plays. He ignores me now though. He don't talk to me at all. But TOS and KDCM work together to destroy the comp team. Right. Blowing up over stupid shit. The game's too small to have this stupid shit going on. You just confused the fuck out of me with that one. My friend, the friend of my friend, the friend of my enemy. No, wait. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. It's the way that's supposed to work. Yeah, none of the original players are left anymore. You know, it's just the people that joined a little bit later. It's left. But 6 players. They got their asses kicked one night from FJRD. And here's the thing. That didn't work too well, did it? Hi, Shrup. Yeah, they definitely don't. Well, I got bitched out because James like right in the front. Yeah. Well, since James left, the heart seemed to have left GNX. I got really bad because I was sitting there doing training programs and I was bringing people in and everybody bitched about it. Right. But nobody appreciated it. Well, I really bitched about the people I brought in, but you got to understand, you can't sit there. You can't sit there and go after just 1,000 point players and better. Right? And then the new people get bitched out because they don't do things the way the older players do it. That's why you lost Zelt. You lost Papadil because I told Papadil to go play with you guys one night. I said you need to play with GNX. They're forming a group. I didn't join fucking GNX for them. I joined it for you. Okay, FJRD, we have a new we have a new player. That's how fast that went. I mean, literally how fast that went. And Papadil is a good player. A lot of people aren't playing anymore. I just play to have fun. You know, I worked long and hard to get into GNX. GNX, I worked long and hard to get into GNX, and they would invite people to the unit. Like, I'm still jumping along as just like a little sideshow thing. And they were inviting so many people, and I finally told James, "What the fuck's going on? I've been working my ass off to get in. I'm starting to bring my scores up. Motherfuckers still ain't invited me." And he goes, "Okay, we're sending an invite to Bandit now." And I was not that higher base. Yeah, and I was nowhere near good enough for them. And then when I finally got started getting good enough, started putting shit out. He wants the high level players in. He didn't want to work with Zelt and see what Zelt could do. And then he bitches out every time Zelt tried something. Oh, I'm going to try a stupid build. Yeah, they need to go into Dorsos. No. It is when you have multiple. It's 12 points per second. Cancel queue. Everybody else is gonna run. Oh, when did he get Picard in with us, anyways? Get Picard invited too. You need to be in the game right now. What are you waiting on? Picard, get your ass in the game. Who's going to yell at you? Okay. You just convinced me. Wife will kick your ass, huh? Uh huh. Shoot his head. I got so bitched out for that too. Now that was a prearranged fight. That was a prearranged fight, and I got bitched out for streaming it. Man, it's what at this point? No, I haven't once. No, I've been on the slots for the last month or so. I can't get shit done. Yeah. Oh, I've been slouching bad. The last month or so has been a real pain in the ass. He got mad one night because we spawn camped his ass. Every time he came in, we nailed him. Did you hear from them or hear from us? Frank brought it on himself, though. Even yep, yep. He couldn't get started though. Charge dies very quickly. James been yelling at people for not following him and not being with him when he did his charge. My ass was always right up front with him. Matter of fact, a lot of times I passed his ass. He did. No. Mm-mm. You mean Valkyr? He always finds the hottest spots. Oh, fucking what's his name? Hold on, I'll think about it in a minute. Yeah, his last one was Sandbag, but we all knew him as something else. I can't remember his fucking name though. Tracker 10. They paid for it. I miss James. Hey, Zafre, we're sort of stuck waiting for somebody to join the queue. We're 2 to 8. We're not going anywhere soon. We're just yik yakking. I don't think so either. Well, that's why I've been streaming. That's why I've been streaming the faction, trying to get more people involved in it. At least we get games. Yep. Charge!
My head's not touched. I'm as fresh as you can possibly be. I am using my jump jets. I'm turning. I'm moving. Boom, I'm dead. He just took off my head from that distance in motion. I'm like, what the hell? That's just not normal. I said, what the hell is that?
That's our thing.
No, 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 no. I played against Arthur. No.
You think
Um,
that's crazy? You should check out the headshot
no, no. When I've played
guard
against
not long ago.
when I've played against Arthur, as long as I keep moving, I will not die from a headshot.
I have not been headshotted by half them yet.
You have not
Oh
gotten a headshot
no.
by Arthur?
No,
I
I
have
got
more than
shot a
once.
few times and
No,
had to
with
deal with
Arthur, you never
stuff.
stare at him. If you see Arthur, you got to be moving, go undercover something. You do not stare. If you stare, you will die.
Yeah, I mean,
Do
I've
not
done
stare.
plenty 1v1s with Arthur, and yeah, I've gotten headshot.
Well, I haven't been headshotted by him when I am moving. He has hit my head, but I haven't just died. And normally when I just die, it's not from a. It's very rare that it's from a headshot. Someone may blow off, like maybe I'm XL or something, and they blow off a torso, but it's normally not just a headshot. And normally I'm hurt in some way if they do a headshot already. So, but it's very rare to be moving and just die from a headshot. That's my perspective. If you stand still, you will die.
I mean, even though I get headshot every once in a while by good players, very, very rare to get headshot heads.
But I can tell you, you can headshot people because I've done it. But generally, for me, I either get lucky or they're standing still. So
I've had shot a
I've
few, over 100.
I've headshot people just shooting 4 ER large into their face. It's not like I'm doing anything special.
I nearly headshot you when I was in my Black Knight.
Oh yeah, no, and that was just solely like what you were saying. It's like I had weapons that I need to hit you with. What I should do, I should realize, and I have to do this with you. It doesn't really matter that I'm that accurate on a spot because I'm not going to be able to kill you with even 4 ER larges. So I might as well just wiggle a little and I'm fine.
Like while you shoot.
Yeah, yeah. That's what Teos does. If you ever watch Teos, he'll in laser vom while he's shooting. Even he does a little wiggle, and it's just enough to basically make sure that it gets moved between his torsos and his head and all that, so he doesn't just get a component taken out.
Well, yeah, if you did that, then I would have forced to of I would have had to force myself to not aim at the head. I would just have to aim at CT and try to shake off the,
Yes, yes.
which I think I would have probably taken less damage, but I wouldn't have gotten anywhere close to that headshot.
So this Democrat activist, her name's Olivia Julian, is threatening to go on a hunger strike until USAID is restored. Well, she's a fat pig. She can use to go on a
No,
hunger
no,
strike.
no. My comment is, my my comment in general. You want to go on a hunger strike? That's your problem. I mean,
Hey, it might help her lose some weight because she's a big girl. She's as big
Oh
as
my
I am.
well,
god.
I don't know. I don't know the weight, but if someone wants to go on a hunger strike, that's their issue. It's like,
Oh, this chick is my
who else
size.
cares? Who else cares? I mean, right?
She's bandit size.
She's bandit size. She's king size some.
Oh
Let's
Well,
boy.
bottom line, I don't know what's going on with that, but my guess is based on the little that I heard, there's my perception is that thing was being used as a slush fund for all kinds of shit.
It was.
And so they need to get it such that it's more visible and people can't use that money for slush fund. They can still put out aid to various
No, thank you.
charities, but it needs to be controlled.
The
Oh
aid
no,
that
they
they're
will.
putting out is like $1 million for a comic book for gay people in Venezuela.
Well, no, what I'm
Trans
talking about
people.
is actual aid, like there's people starving and
It
something
ain't
like
gonna
that.
happen. They're not gonna do that.
No, they will.
They're
Not
not gonna do it.
USAID. No, what they will do is my guess is it'll get put under the State Department or some other agency and it'll be better controlled. But we already do that through other agencies. We already give all kinds of aid. It's not just USAID. We give out aid in many different ways of different forms. So they're just going to put it under a different agency that
Well,
has
they're
better
stopping all
control.
the foreign aid right now. Every bit of foreign aid they're stopping.
Well, they're stopped. Okay. What's happening, based on what I have heard, and it hasn't been much, is that Elon Musk has some guys that he relies on that he's pulled over and they're grabbing the data and basically looking to see what shit's going on. And part of what's going on is they're putting the freeze on all kinds of things because they know when they look at things, they see stuff's going on. So they freeze it until they can get control of whatever it is. That's what they're doing. So it's not that money will not be released for a lot of the things that's happening. It's just they're trying to get a control of it, because they see a bunch of bullshit going on. Because they can take money that's going to bullshit and redirect it to something they actually want to direct it for. And the example was
Homeless
um,
people.
they're they're sending 40 to 50 billion for foreign aid, and they're spending 7 billion on the border. So you could take a little bit from that foreign aid, and now you can control your border better. So stuff like that. the way I look at it.
Personally,
First
I
off,
don't think we need
you
to be giving the Taliban money for condoms.
Hmm.
I don't
Well,
think we need to be giving money to create a
that's hilarious
Sesame
that they're giving
Street
money.
in Iraq.
Oh yeah,
I mean, that's the kind of
I
shit
didn't
just
hear
not
that one.
necessary.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, that's not necessary.
And the way I look at it, it's probably another way that for various purposes they're manipulating, you know, cultures. They're manipulating politicians. It's just a slush fund for them to play games. I mean,
Yep.
that's my perspective. And then they want to freeze out Musk's Dodge from some things, because I suspect that if they're allowed to look at everything, they might find some really interesting stuff for current and past, people in government. All kinds of shit going on.
Well, I liked the
This
one
is
where
how
they
they
were
make their
doing
money.
Pete Hayek. They were like asking him, so generals are not allowed to go into the public sector in defense contractors for 10 years after they leave the Pentagon. And he goes, well, I was not a general, or I'm not a general. And
Well,
she
no,
started laughing because she knew she just got busted.
well, no. The problem with some of that is basically those guys are saying a bunch of bullshit, and it's just a game that they're playing. But the government, in most cases, does not pay that much. Because I'm
They
pretty
don't.
sure I make pretty much what a congressman makes. Because I think they make like 160K. That's what I make.
You make
So
160K?
yes,
Picard, I need a loan.
I live in California, dude.
Yeah, you pay
That's
everything
very
out in
expensive.
taxes. You pay for the
With
shit
my
like
wife, with my wife, she doesn't make much, but between the two of us, it's like 200K, and we're just middle class because California's so damn expensive.
mm-hmm.
So that's my comment. But the
Picard, I
point
need a
is,
loan.
the point is these people are not getting that paid insane amounts in government, and if they're told you leave, you now can't get a good paying job. That's effectively what they're telling them. Well, so what? They're going there because they want to help, the world or the country, and then they're going to sacrifice their life for it. It doesn't work that way.
Do you live in the area where the fires are?
I'm inland, so that was in LA County. I'm in San Bernardino County, which is
Okay.
it's east of LA County. So I've seen fires like that one time since I've lived in my house. They had fires like that, basically Santa Ana winds, that's what they call them. It will
The
blow.
cigarette
When
butt
they
will
had
start a
those
big ass
winds,
fire.
the winds were like consistently 40 to 50 and gusts of 80 to 100. So it's like tornado kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what the winds were here, but we just didn't have any fires. But one time we had that, and basically you would have these big cinders. They're like, 1 inch in size, would be flying, 30 miles an hour, smacking the side of your house. Just luckily, I have tile roof and stucco on the side, so nothing caught fire. But literally, there was one point where it just looked like the definition of hell, with all these cinders just thick,
Well, you got
right
all
up to
them
the edge of
Democrats
your
out there in
house.
California. It's hell enough.
Every place you are is roughly 50-50. Roughly. It's like 60-40, 40-60 in most places.
Well, see,
I
Denver
think
is a
California
Democrat
is
city
roughly
too,
that.
and we're paying, premium because the federal government just cut off all funds to all cities that are sanctuary cities. They will get no federal assistance at all.
And it's going to go to court, but
It's
as
still,
long
it's
as that pressure is put on, what's going to happen.
well, it's going to go to
The
court, but they're going
Democratic
to lose.
the Democratic cities are going to cave
Yeah, they have no
because they
choice.
cannot afford to lose the money.
Exactly, and that's exactly
And
why Trump's doing it because he knows in the end they ain't got
and
no choice.
and specifically in court, when the goal is we're going to take out criminals, I don't know how a court can back that. It's not making its way through the Supreme Court. That's bullshit. You can't get rid of criminals. Come on. criminals that shouldn't be here. That's just not right.
It's funny in the press conference, the first press conference, somebody's like, "Well, they rounded up 1,179 people. Out of those 1,179 people, how many of them have a criminal record other than coming into the United States?" And she said, "They're all criminals. They have a criminal record. They crossed over the border illegally." She says, "I
You're
know it's
talking
going to,
about the press secretary, yeah.
yeah." She said, "I know it's going to be a culture shock to you, but unlike the last administration, if they got a criminal record, they're on the table."
Well, but the difference is how, for someone who shouldn't be here versus someone who's an actual criminal that shouldn't be here, meaning they're also illegal.
Well, they're all illegal. I
It's a
mean,
it's a difference. It's a difference in how you should process them and
I
whatnot.
have an illegal in my house, but that illegal in my house
Like
has already got a court date. So,
the Tren de Aragua or whatever that gang is, taking them to Guantanamo is perfectly fine.
oh
I
yeah,
have no issues with that. Now, if you just had someone that came here, they haven't done anything bad, they're just here illegally, well, you should have a nicer process to get them out of the country.
yeah, but they're still criminals. They violated federal law by coming into the country. They have a criminal record.
Right, but they have
If they were contributing to
there's
society and not
basically
costing us money, I would think differently. But I
there's
can't think
more
differently.
there's more due process protections for those people that all they did was come across the border illegally versus an actual criminal. Actual criminal is subject to just you get kicked out, period. There's no question. Whereas
Personally,
someone
I
who
think they
comes
should serve
across the
20
border
years in
illegally,
Gitmo
they
first.
have some protection.
They should serve 20 years in Gitmo first at hard labor. Have them make gravel for the rest of the United States out of them big rocks at
Well,
Gitmo.
the issue, so the issue is whether or not you can control the border. If you can't control the border, you might as well do that. That's the comment.
Well, I'm pretty sure
Can't
we're going to be
control
able
the
to control
border,
the border pretty quick.
you need to just take them off,
They
take them
got
out of,
jarheads and
take them
airborne
off
troops
the
at the
playing
border. I
field.
think the border's going to be just fine.
Well, it's going to be rough. The
I'm about to go to
cartels
sleep.
and stuff.
Our cartels just need to be taken out. I mean, it's amazing what a
Well,
Hellfire
yes.
missile could do to a cartel's
Well,
headquarters.
yes. In a military encounter, we will beat them. The problem is that they will be ruthless and they will either corrupt officials or they will threaten officials' families.
They already have.
And yes, and that's the problem. And I
Well,
mean,
ain't a problem.
literally,
You
like,
still kill some bitches. Just kill them. I'll take it. I'll take that fight. I could still shoot a gnat's ass at about 150 meters. That's with glasses. Shoot them all, let God sort them out. I don't think so either. I think I'm going to go ahead and go to bed. Got to be 7 o'clock already. Yeah. Well, let's see. Yes, I've been on stream for 1 hour and 16 minutes. That's how long we've been in queue. I know. I'm a total diehard. It's so funny. My boss today, she sends me a message. I need you to call me right now, or I need your political advice. I'm like, okay. So our hospital does gender affirming care. I got to mute my mic for this one. Hold on. service in the military was to allow people to choose whatever they want. If they want to gender change, okay, that's your call. All right, if you're an adult, you can make an adult decision. You don't want to be a male, you want to be a female, I'm perfectly fine with that. What I'm not perfectly fine with is my tax money being used to pay for it. That's where I have a problem. I forgot you were an old fuck. Somebody would be going to the morgue. But you understand what I'm saying.
Naive and they don't know what's going on, raging hormones, all kinds of factors to even let adults and other things
Well, the school system should not be involved in
influence
that
them.
period. My tax money should not be
Well, no,
involved
the
in that
reason
period. The school
so the
system needs to
reason
educate, not fucking say, "Oh, what gender are you today?"
so the reason they're doing it theoretically isn't bad. They're trying to help the kid, right? That's at least that's what they're
No,
saying.
no, no. That's what they're saying they're doing. They're not trying to help the kid. They're trying to confuse the
Theoretically.
fuck out of them.
But yeah, that's a different issue.
That's not the school system's bag. The school system's only bag is to educate that student. That student needs to be able to read, write, and be proficient in those things before
Well,
they
that's what
graduate.
you so this is my comment.
Uh
If
oh.
you're an older person, you probably believe that. If you're a younger person, you may not believe that.
If you're a younger person and you don't understand that point, there's a fucking problem. That means you grew up in a system where they polluted your brain when you were in school, and you need to get your head out of your ass and learn.
but that's but that's one side of the coin.
No, that's the only side of the coin. There
I'm
is
not
no
agreeing,
other
but
side of the coin of what a school
well,
system is
that's one
supposed
side
to
of the
do.
coin.
No, there's no other side of the coin. The coin is you're in that classroom to learn, not to be brainwashed
I
into
just
thinking you're a girl when you're a boy.
I just happen to talk to people that are on both sides, and there is another side, and the other side believes that government should help people be who they are.
Nope.
That's the best way to put
My
it.
tax money, no. As I got to
And
say in it, you're not
I'm
using my
seeing
tax money to change a little girl into a little boy
well,
or a little boy into
I'm
a little girl. That
I'm
ain't going to happen with
saying
my tax money.
I'm saying my belief is you need to actually be your brain needs to be developed to some level before you should make that kind of decision. That's what I'm saying.
And that's why I say schools should have no part in that at all. The only thing the school should do is educate that child. That's it. That's what they're there for. Educate the child. But right now, schools are being used by the Democrats to brainwash people into being Democrats. My sister is a die-hard fucking liberal. And she got it when she went to college. Because before she
Well, it's
went to
always
college, she was a
college.
conservative.
It's always college. Same thing for my kids.
Oh,
Same thing
they're
happens.
doing the same thing in elementary, middle, and high school now.
I'm pretty sure college is a scam.
And I'm sorry, just because a kid plays a
Well,
sport does not mean they need a participation. It needs to
college
be winner's a
it
winner.
depends on what you're doing in college. I got an engineering degree and it wasn't a scam. They actually taught you real things. So I didn't have to take a lot of the bullshit classes. I had to take mainly engineering and they were real classes. But if you're humanities, arts major, yeah, there's a bunch of bullshit.
That's all profanity, is what that is.
Well, I did
You're
have
gonna get
math
liberal
classes.
mind washed. Now, I got in a
I only
fight
have
with one of my
I only have
teachers at
one class
school.
like that.
I was going to school for accounting, And this guy was such a fucking liberal. This is back in 1988, 89, 90. And this guy was such a fucking liberal. He was telling people, you're not a liberal, you're not going to pass my class. And I stood up and said, excuse me, but, I just got out of the Army and I served so that you could have your view. But you try to stuff your view down my throat, I'm going to put my fist up your face. And he looked at me and he's like, you can leave my classroom now. No, I paid to be in this classroom. I'm going to be here. But you express your liberal views and you try to overdo my views, I will kick your fucking ass. So for the rest of that class, we didn't have any problems. He didn't express any liberal views throughout that class. But the next class, I had a friend of mine that had got out of the military a little bit after I did. He was going through it for accounting, and he's like, God, this guy is such a fucking stupid liberal. Well, I told him how I handled it. It's about like the
Nothing
school
like that ever
system.
happened when I went to school.
Well, my
Nobody
stepson,
ever did that. There was none of that.
elementary school, he's autistic. Well, he's Asperger's, so he's a higher operating form of
Wait, you have
Asperger's.
kids?
I have a stepson. I went to the school one day. They called me up and said, we need you to come to school. We got a problem. So I get up to the school. Where's my boy? In the principal's office. Is he in jail? No. Next time I come up to the school, you got that little boy locked up? Somebody's going to the morgue and I'm going to jail. I said, there's a fucking glass door at the end of the fucking classroom that goes out to the fucking playground. He starts losing his shit. You open up the door and tell him to go slide. Here goes slide 5 or 6 minutes. Here, come back into the class. Here, sit down, and he'll be just fine. But I said, I better never find him locked up again, and I better never hear that one of you people laid a hand on my boy, because I will flat out fuck you up. And the security guards look at me like, you need to calm down, Mr. Daddy. Fella, unless you're going to shoot me right now, I'm going to tell you right now, I will bust you right in the motherfucking face. You lay a hand on my kid, you're going to get the wrath of Tom. So that night,
Nice.
I went to the grocery store. I got paper plates. I got markers. I got popsicle sticks. I got Elmer's glue. I had him draw a picture of himself in red. Said, this needs to be your angry face. Make it your angry face. So he made it an angry face. And then I gave him another one with a green pen. I said, give me your happy face. So he made a picture of him with a happy face. And then we put like little stickers and stuff all over it too, because he loves stickers that much. All right, tell me when you're confused. Give me your confused face. So I gave him a yellow marker. And he made a confused face. Well, after he made all of his faces, I went and I put the same color of marker all the way around the edge of the plate. So next day I go to school with him. I walk right into school. I didn't stop at the office or anything like you're supposed to sign in. I walked right down to his teacher's desk and I said, ask him how he's feeling right now. And she asked. He opened up his backpack. He pulled out the green plate because he was nice and happy, right? Now, Caden, show her what you're going to be if you're angry. So he pulled out the red plate. Yellow plate, blue plate. We did a little bit of everything, right? So I told her, I said, if something don't seem right, ask him to pull out the plate that he feels at the moment. If he's confused, take a minute, sit down with him, understand what he's confused about, and then deal with it. And I said, if he loses his nuts, he starts going nuts, open up the fucking door and tell him to go slide. Well, about 2 weeks later, go slide on the slide. The playground was right outside the door.
Okay.
So if he's losing his nuts, open up the door, kick him out, tell him to go slide. Slides were his favorite thing. He'd slide 2 or 3 times, he'd be happy again. So about 2 weeks later, I get a call from the school. Mr. Dowdy, we have all the counselors in the Aurora Public Schools here, and they want to meet with you. Well, shit, I just got home from dropping the boy off. Why couldn't you tell me that while I was up there? So I took a shower, I got in some nice clean clothes, and I walked back up to the school. Now, mind you, I didn't walk that well, and I had 2 canes that I used to get around. I get up to school, we go sit down in the library, and they were asking me questions about how it is that I could control Caden where they couldn't. And they were asking me about it. So, the next few days in all these classrooms, they're having these kids sit down and glue the stupid little paper plates and put the little markers on it. So everybody had the same damn thing So if they were having a hard time, they could raise whatever plate they needed to show the teacher there was something going on or they needed help or that they were happy. And I said, like, you people are fucking college educated. I'm a dumbass redneck from Georgia that barely graduated from high school, and you dumbasses couldn't figure this out on your own? And the one lady's like, why are you being so aggressive towards us? Because you put my boy in the fucking room and lock him in there because you can't control him. Oh, yeah, I'm pissed. It's going to take me a long time to get over that.
Oh yeah, no. The interesting observation I have in that is when the government, and it especially happens when there's divorces that go on, when the government gets involved and like one side tells bullshit against the other side, government starts getting in your stuff and giving you shit. Well, there's lots of stuff that the government does in schools that they should be getting in trouble for, but they
Yep,
don't.
yep.
But they'll be all over you for the same thing.
I'll give you a
So,
good one.
second
You're going to
side,
love
this is
this.
not an America exclusive problem. This also happens in Portugal.
Yep. When my boy went into his mama one night, he jumped up on the bed. He's trying to show her affection, trying to get a hug from her, and she drop kicks him off my bed and he hits my antique dresser. Now, it took 6 of us to move that fucking dresser in. Does that tell you how heavy it is? She and I together could not move that dresser. If we needed to rearrange the room, I had to have 4 or 5 of my friends come over to help us move the goddamn dresser. And that's with the drawers out. That's how heavy that damn thing is. So next day, I'm sitting in the doorway and I'm painting miniatures. Got a job interview in a couple hours, so I'm just wasting time. And this lady walks in my apartment. Where's Aaron? So I pointed right to the back. Now I know this lady. She's a social worker, and she's with Children's Services. And I know because I had to call her out because I used to manage that same property a few years before, and I had to call her out many times. So she walks back. She's trying to talk to Aaron. Aaron, I know you see me. Aaron, talk to me, Aaron. I know you see me. Tell me what the fuck's going on. Aaron ignored her. Totally ignored her. Refused to say anything, refused to talk to her, anything. So she comes out. She's looking at me like, what the fuck's going on? And I shush my hand to the side, like, move. Because she was in my natural light that I'm trying to paint my miniatures on, right? I said, go get a chair. She came over with the chair. She sat down. She said, what the fuck is wrong with that bitch? And I said, obviously you're here because Caden has bumps on his head. Are the bumps on the front of his head, the back of his head? She goes, I can't tell you that. Fine. The ones on the front of his head are for me. That's because in the mornings when I go to get him up, I have to put him on the top of a pillow. I put a blanket on him, and I call it every slice of cheese I can think of. Gouda, cheddar, Swiss, American. And only thing he likes is American cheese. So if I called any other cheese, he would thrash his head side to side. But he had a race car bed, plastic bed frame surrounding the whole bed. He's going to bump his head, right? I mean, that's just natural, right? He's thrashing around because he don't like the cheese I put on him. He's going to bump his head. And then I told her, I said, I try every condiment you could think of putting on a hamburger, right? Chili, onions, pickles, mustard, mayonnaise, just anything I could think of, bacon. And all he liked was a plain cheeseburger with American cheese and ketchup. Those are the only ingredients he liked. Well, when I got to the point he was all wired, then I would take my hand and I'd start about his belly, and I'd go all the way up to his throat, and then I'd pretend like I'm eating Jello. I'd be like, ooh, green Jello with apple slices in it. And of course, he'd start thrashing around again because that's not the type of Jello he liked. He only liked the lemon Jello. So I avoided the lemon Jello, and I did every combination you could think of. And then when that didn't work to get him up and get him moving, then I'd take his arm, I'd put my lips over my teeth, and I'd start nibbling on his arm. And I'm like, oh, I'm a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So then he would look at me, he says, no, I'm a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And he'd actually bite the shit out of me. I mean, I had bite marks from my elbow all the way down to my wrist. And I rolled up the sleeve of my shirt and my shoulder, and she goes, oh, damn, he's got a bite on him, doesn't he? Hell yeah, I had fucking bite marks all the way up and down that right arm. So I said, now, if the bump's on the back of his head, he went in and talked to his mama last night and tried to give her a hug, and she drop kicked his ass into the dresser. Now, you tell me where the bumps are. She goes, do not bring him home. Do not go pick him up today. I will bring him home. So right after school, I hear a knock on the door. I answer it. 2 police officers walk in first, then the social worker, then Caden, and then her parents. Now Caden runs straight to the freezer, opens up the freezer door, and he's dragging the social worker with him. See, Daddy Tom don't have no ice cream in there. That fucking freezer was packed to the max with food. We're not going to put no ice cream in there. We're going to fucking put food in there so we can feed the boy, right? So she goes, yeah, I don't see any ice cream in here. And that was the only complaint he had about me is I wouldn't give him ice cream. That was his one complaint about me. That was the only complaint about me is I wouldn't give him ice cream. And I looked at her and she looked at me and she winked. So one of the police officers go back to try to get Aaron to come out. And it was a sergeant. And he's sitting there like, you need to come out to the living room right now, young lady, or I'm going to arrest you. He came out after about 10 minutes. He goes, I give up. I don't know what to do. I says, I can get her ass out here, but you're going to put me in jail for doing it. He says, what you going to do? And I said, this. And I walked back to the room and I grabbed her fucking ankles, yanked her ass right off the bed, dragged her ass all the way out to the living room. Got out to the living room. I picked her up and slammed her on the couch. Well, about this time, Caden starts losing his nuts, right? So I take a couch cushion out, I set him on it, and I start going through all the shit I told the social worker I do. I got two cops with their jaws almost on the ground. The social worker's got her jaw almost on the ground. And Grandma and Grandpa are sitting there like wide-eyed, just like their eyes were triple their normal size, with their jaws hitting the ground. And I walked him all the way through his meltdown, and it got him to the point to where he could sit there with me, and he's like, Daddy Tom, can I go get my police car? Yeah, go get your police car. So he gets up, runs to his room, gets his police car. He turns on the siren and lights and looks at Sergeant and says, does your police car do that? Sergeant's like, yeah. And he goes, can it do this? And he started running it over the couch. And the sergeant's like, yeah, I could do that, but that couch wouldn't have much left to it. And then Caden starts driving the car around the walls, the cabinets, all the way around the dining room, kitchen, back out to the living room, back to where his mom was. And the cop's like, I don't think my car will do that. And Caden goes, ha, my police car can do something yours can't do. And then everybody faced their attention back to Aaron. And that social worker looked right at her and said, you will never be alone with your son again. She looked at me. You pick him up from school, and if you so much as got to take a shit, his ass sits in the bathtub while you're shitting. I saluted her like, yes, ma'am. Gave her like the very crisp military salute that I could. And I told her, yes, ma'am. So his grandmother would come get him at night when she got off of work and pick him up and take him up. And then in the morning, she'd bring him back to me, and then I would give him breakfast and take him to school, and then I'd pick him up. That whole time period, Erin was flipping out because she wasn't allowed to see her kid alone. And anytime she tried to hug her kid, that social worker said, you're to have no contact with your boy. Back the fuck off, bitch. So we end up putting her in a mental hospital. And she gets out of the mental hospital. Well, she says she wants to go to it. She'd been there once before. So she's like, well, I really want to go to this hospital. So we're like, okay. So we take her to the hospital. We get there. She refuses to walk in the door. Then I finally get her in the door. And then she tells the lady, I want to leave. They're trying to in process her. She's like, I want to leave. So I let her go. And I said, what the fuck did you do that for? Well, she hasn't been in processed yet. We can't take custody of her. All right, so now she's going to go flip off on somebody else, and then you're going to have a problem, right? Well, she walked about 4 blocks over to a baby store, and she's looking through the baby clothes, and she's sitting there crying, and the store don't know what's going on, so they call the cops. The cop shows up. She runs back to the bathroom, locks herself in the door to the point that they had to break the door down to go in there and get her and pull her out. They bring her back to the facility, and she's sitting in the police car. The cop's like, you got 2 choices. You get your ass checked in here, or you're going to check into my jail. That's the 2 choices you have. So I looked at her. I went out there, looked at her, looked at the officer. Can I talk to her for a minute? And he goes, yeah. I says, sweetheart, the man laid it out plain and clear for you. You either check yourself into this facility now, or your ass is going to jail, and I don't have enough money to bail your sorry ass out, so you're going to sit in jail until you see the judge. So she finally asked to be let out of the car. She goes in, they in-process her. 72-hour hold. The 3rd day, they call me. They ask me to bring her father, so I drive up to Conifer, which is like almost a 2-hour trip, grab him, and then it's another hour and a half to get back to the facility, and then another 2 hours or another hour and a half to 2 hours due to traffic to take his ass back home. So we get there, and the social worker's like, don't say anything at all, but we're moving her to Fort Lupton. Well, Fort Lupton has Medicaid beds, and she has Medicaid. So they're keeping her past a 72-hour hold. They don't think she's going to be capable of surviving outside of a facility, right? So lo and behold, she walks in the room with the social worker, and the social worker's like, you know what, Aaron, I've had enough of your shit. I was going to do this nicely, but I ain't going to do it nicely now. He said, your ass is going to Fort Lupton. They have Medicaid beds there. You're never going to be out of a facility again as long as you're alive. And I'm sitting there cracking up, and her father's looking at me and looking at the social worker, looking at his daughter, and he has the love for a daughter that only a father can have, right? By this point in time, I was done with her ass. I was going to dump her anyways and send her back to her parents anyways. And
my comment is everything you're talking about. I mean, I've had dealings because my daughter was married and got divorced, and it was like hell. As far as what was going on, and I was helping, but we had more money. Meaning I had more money. So what you were going through, I didn't have to. The government was pulling shit, and you had to be in court and all this shit. But we had a lawyer, and we figured out what we needed to do to keep them out of our home and all that stuff. So things were taken care of relatively quickly, even though the ex would always cause shit and always make up shit. But what you went through, that's hell.
I know, because I'm a poor motherfucker. There was nothing I could do. I was on unemployment at the time.
No, I'm just saying it's like that. There, money can help.
Now, I ain't got
In
no
some
money, so I need a
situations.
loan, Picard. I need a loan. I seriously need a
In
loan.
that
Look.
situation,
I'm getting hit for a garnishment, dude.
basically you get a good lawyer, you use your brain, and you make sure you do everything right. And the lawyers are like, you hire a good asshole that kicks butt, and that's what you do.
Well, my problem is I have 3 ambulance bills I couldn't pay. I'm up to 5 ambulance bills now I can't pay.
Oh,
So because I'm poor and I can't hire an attorney, this little shithead attorney buys my debt for pennies on the dollar, and he's getting collective full thing because he's going to garnish me. There's no way I can fight it. I can't pay the court cost, which is $225. So I had no ability to even defend myself in court. So now I'm going to get a garnishment for over $4,000. It's going to take me 2 years to pay it off.
well,
2 years plus to
I'm
pay
just
that shit off.
I feel sorry for you, but my comment is 4,000 is nothing.
For you, 4,000 for me is a significant amount, especially when they're going to be taking $250, $280, something like that of every single paycheck.
No, I get it. My comment is I make a lot of money. I live in California. I take home less than half of what I make. So I make really good money, but I take home less than half.
I still need a loan. You're rich. You're sitting there telling me how rich you are. Fucking give me a loan so I can get out of
I'm
the
not
fucking
rich.
garnishment.
I'm not rich. I live in California, and they take all my money.
Bunch of damn
It's
Democrats
like
take your
here. I don't
money.
know what eggs cost where you guys are, but eggs are as
$8.
much as $14 a dozen here.
God damn, it's $8 a dozen for us.
What?
So
What
the
the hell are you guys
cheapest
paying? What are you guys paying for eggs?
$14
No,
for 12.
yeah, okay, that's ridiculous. But bandits is also ridiculous.
$8 for
This
a
is
12 pack. If you get an
so
18
2
pack or a
years
24
ago.
pack,
2 years ago, you could go to some store called Aldi's, and you could get eggs for like anywhere between 1 and 250.
guys, we're rating.
Now at
Bro,
Aldi's, they're $8.
I know dollars are worth less than euros, but it's not a big difference.
No,
I
it's
went
really
to
close.
shopping 2 days ago. It's €2 36, €2.36 for 6 eggs. So that's like almost €5. Like that's €4 and something for a dozen. I don't know what you guys are paying.
Not well,
14.
well. First of all, Biden had 20-something million chickens that were leg
No.
egg
20
layers
million
killed.
chickens died from the avian flu, and then he ordered 100 million chickens destroyed to try to stop the spread of the avian flu.
Which was bullshit.
And then on top of that, a bunch of states decided